I am Groot. Nice. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Step into the Portal. My name is the Brandt. I'm going to play some Marvel Champions. So I'm just going to play solo by myself and then maybe see if around 11 o'clock a new article pops up about Marvel Champions and maybe we can talk a little bit about that. So that was kind of the idea. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I know some people will trickle in. I just posted that I was doing the video because I just made the decision. Hopefully tonight, Brian and I are going to continue on our campaign. So you can look out for that. I don't have a time yet because we're both kind of in limbo with family stuff, but we hope to do that. And then we'll finish it up with 4 people, do the final one perhaps Saturday, perhaps Sunday, perhaps Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. But going for that. What? I don't know anything. I just know that it posts sometimes on Thursdays, and I've seen people go live, and I was like, cool, I'll do the same thing and see. Hello, Spartan. Hello, Get Up and Game. But what I really wanted to do is I wanted to play Groot, thanks to D20. There, you could check out D20's channel. They were talking about Groot and kind of making like an ultimate Groot deck and whatnot. And I know Groot tends to fall on the lower end of tiers and things like that for heroes, and I think Groot is great. But he's that classic he needs to build to be good. So we're going to play him into that build and give him some really good stuff for getting built and see what we can do. And I figured I would fight Mysterio because I don't get a chance to fight Mysterio. It's hard to do playing via web, which you can if you want to do it. You can make it work, but it's definitely one of the more confusing ones. So I thought, well, let me fight Mysterio because that's one that I could do solo that I couldn't do otherwise. I did think about doing Kang, but I'll probably do some Ant-Man Kang, right? Ant-Man Wasp Kang somewhere in February as we build up to the Quantum Mania movie. Hello, Eric. Thanks, everybody, for joining. If you didn't get a chance to check out from FFG yesterday, the Star Wars deck building game, definitely check that out. Caleb, who also designs Marvel Champions, designed a Star Wars deck building game, and it looks fantastic. So definitely go over to their channel and give a look to that. It's very different. Deck building, I think, throws people off because certainly we're deck building here, but most people tend to call this a deck construction game. Deck building is when you build the deck as part of the game. So you've got a Rebels versus Imperials system, Rebel versus Empire, and you're fighting back and forth, and it's a lot of fun. So check that out. All right, here we go. Here's our Groot build. So we're going to put Groot. I had posted this. I should have put a link in the video here, but that's okay. Maybe I'll remember. But I actually made this on Marvel CDB. I adjusted it a little bit for Mysterio. I probably honestly should have a target acquired in here, but I'm at 29 cards, so I'm going to leave it like this. But I posted this in the Facebook group, something very similar as well. And this is this. If you don't like the symbiote suit, you can definitely take it out, but it's a good way to help him get built. But a bunch of allies to help us draw cards, namely Ironheart and Nick Fury. Coulson also goes and gets a Spycraft, which will give us another resource. Spider-Man Miles comes in. Really, the main idea there is threat is the issue, right? Groot is one of those one thwart heroes that can struggle so much, so we give him a lot of things to overcome that. The Beat Cops over here, the Spider-Man, Professor X. We've got a lot of confusion in this deck. Rocket is like a perfect combination of things. He can thwart for 2, or he can hit minions. So we have all that stuff. Then we're using the Meditations and the Beat Cops, the symbiote suit, to help us try to get built. And then meanwhile, we've got all this control with Think Fast. We also have an Avengers Mansion in here. So some things to draw cards with Skilled Investigator. This could probably go, but I put this and this one way or another in. That would get us down to 27 if you didn't have those, but I want to actually try to pull some of those cards to help me. And then an Under Surveillance and a Sonic Rifle are what we're going to use to try to getting out there. Cutting out the Ronin print and play modular set right now. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, the Ronin one is... I love the Ronin one. I think our final play at Con of Heroes was Ultron 4-player with the Ronin. He just kept coming back, and he had like 9 health per player, so I think we killed him, did 36 damage, he came back, and people are like, I can't do it again. It's killing a mini-boss every time, if not a stage of a villain, so that was that. So this is the idea for Groot, so it's going to be very slow, right? We're looking to be powerful on turn 10, and I'm telling you, once Groot gets there, he's super-duper powerful recurring those events. I don't like to put a lot of events, so obviously I even have this many in here, but I don't want to fill Groot's deck with events. So when I play him in Justice, I'm going to try to favor these support cards because his deck itself is mostly event heavy. He's only got these 5 build cards. So he's sitting on 10 events already. So I want to try to thin my deck down and then be able to just draw these and deal some serious damage. Root Stomp is your early friend, so you're avoiding the I am Groot. Those are your late game attack cards, but Root Stomp is generally even more effective and gets you the counters. We Are Groot is really strong with the tough statuses, and then the Fruitions can help you, and we're going to be able to flip down a whole bunch because the key card for Groot, your priority number 1, is Fertile Ground. That's the card you want, and then you want to be able to flip down. Since his stat line isn't too strong, we're going to use him for meditation and see what we can do here. Hello, Josh. How are you? No counter intelligence. Yep, I could put that in as well so that I could use that instead of Spycraft. In fact, against Mysterio, that could be a little bit better. Perhaps. It'll be interesting because Mysterio also wants to take time, so I could actually see this being a struggle for Groot on the long end. Certainly if we get hit with an advance or something and we can't confuse him, that could be tricky on the short play. But I could see on the far end of the game, actually, that's when Mysterio's really strong, and that's when Groot's trying to be strong. So it could actually be the case where Mysterio is a little tricky for Groot. So we'll see how this goes. Really, the easiest way to beat Mysterio is to just bash him down. He's the only villain, I believe, in the game who decreases hit points from stage 2 to stage 3. So he is 17 and 16, so it's really only 33 damage. So honestly, if he came out of the gate swinging and aggression, you'd take Mysterio down pretty easily. So we're kind of making this harder on ourselves, so we'll have to see. Yeah, it's not a bad call. Nothing on FFG's website. Yeah, I guess it's usually around 11, right? Yeah, I don't think you're wrong there, Josh. I think I'm not going to add counterintelligence because it would get me to 30 cards. But I suppose I could put it in instead of Spycraft. Would be the other option there. Not too worried about stunning Mysterio because, you know, we've got our tokens and we'll just use our tokens as resources in the beginning. I don't really try to build up tokens until I get Fertile Ground down. Would be the idea. Yeah, give him the time. Josh says give him the time. Or Get Up in Game is also Josh. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm playing him with the normal mods because I think they kind of work. You need to keep those illusions in there. So it's funny with him that you can swap his mods out, but then you make him somewhat less powerful and that he won't get the illusions. So that part is a little bit different. All right, 17. I will say that I love those dials I have. If you haven't seen those dials, we have them at the portal. The sorry, not Asmodee, Gamegenic dials. But I also play with mine for Frosthaven and for My Hero Academia, and so I went to My Hero Academia on Tuesday night, and my dial's down in my box. So I'm using my regular dial. I'm super happy with the regular stuff that comes with this game. I'm still using my tokens. 4,000 plays in. They work great. Minimal issues. All right, here we go. Is everybody excited for some Groot? Gotcha. Yeah, you want to go to a thicker deck. You know what? Just for you, Josh, I will find a counterintelligence and pop it in the deck. I was thinking this is going to be tricky, but my box is right here. Although I don't have everything sorted. Oh, look at that. Boom. It's your day. 30 cards. Probably a little bit high, especially for something I'm trying to get built up, but most of the cards are going to go on the table anyway, so it works out. Here we go. We got a counterintelligence and a spycraft. All right, so we need to put a shifting apparition into play. I knew I should have just shuffled and shuffled. And then I have to shuffle the top card of the encounter deck into my deck. that before I draw? Probably, right? So bad with setup. My kids never poured milk over the tokens. It is true, Spartan. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we see a beat cop here. There's that counterintelligence we could pop down. We also have Professor X. If we wanted to flip up to confuse him with that double, it's not too bad. We got a lot of ways to confuse if we wanted to. We don't have the 1 damage for this, which is interesting. So the Skilled Investigator will be good. I'm going to drop these 2 and see if I can draw. Nope. All right, Vine Shield is my defense card. So what do we want to do here? I'd almost rather get the beat cop out. Oops. The beat goes on. On and on and on. If I get the beat cop out, then I'd have to put Professor out and not do Skilled Investigator. Which is kind of overkill on those. So I could kind of be weird. First off, we're going to gain 2 tokens. We could play a long game in general. We could drop that beat cop, drop the Skilled Investigator, and hold these for the next turn. I don't typically like holding cards, but it's a way to do it. This will pull 1 from here. I'm going to add 4. That's going to go to 5. So if he draws a triple, that flips and I'm in trouble. Suppose it's not my best play. We'll try it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could pop right here and be in trouble. Wow, that's a lot of good stuff. So I like Professor, but I also really like getting this mansion down. I could play this mansion, especially if I could have drawn a meditation. It would have been amazing here. So no meditation at the beginning really makes this slow down a bit. All right, 2 plus 0 bonus, and it's an advance. Plus 1 is 3, so we go to 5. Now we'll probably draw an advance here, right? And he gets a humongous hallucination. So he gets plus 3 to his attack. All right, back to us. So we will gain 2 more counters. We will beat cop 1 off of here. All right, so again, my smart play is to play Professor X, but if I drop all these with a mansion, still a card short, I'd have to draw a double, right? So I'm really kind of hindering myself. All right, so I'll have to wait on my mansion. So we will flip up. We'll use these 3, the Power in All of Us and the Fruition. Actually, the Sonic Rifle instead, just in case we can use Fruition. To play Professor. Professor will come in and confuse Mysterio and thwart for 3. Bring that down. These beat cops get rough to remember. All right, and then this is all we're left with, huh? Do have some funky numbers without those meditations. So we will Fruition to gain 2 counters. And I'm just going to keep that there. I'd almost rather not get a card in my deck. So I will use myself to just remove that 1 threat. Oh, spend a resource and shuffle the top 2 cards into your deck. All right, we'll do that. We'll get rid of this, even though he's going to hit the Professor. We get more cards. Probably a good use now. All right. Whole villain setup first, thanks. Speaking of Groot, I think his CGI looks off in the Guardians Christmas special and the upcoming movie. He looks like a guy in a cheap suit. Yeah, he does look kind of funny. I will give you that. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there's a meditation. So now we can use that to get our mansion down. We can't play Spycraft, but we'll be getting ourselves moving. All right. We'll add 1 threat here. He's going to attack for 2. All right. We did not get an illusion. Blocks. It's an assault. Professor is out. The apparition will hit us for 1. We go down to 5 tokens. And then we will draw here. That wasn't an illusion, right? Am I missing anything? No. And we're going to get Old Grudge. So we're going to go get our Nemesis. That's not good. That's not good at all. All right. He's going to come out after he activates, deal 2 indirect damage to each player. Yeah, that's troublesome. All right, and he's got 7 hit points. So I definitely need to find a way to deal damage there. So I could actually do this, right? So I'll use these 4 to play my mansion. Draw with the mansion. Gonna have lots of resources. Beat Cop will pull 1 from here. Groot will deal 2. Not use the meditate. Flip down. Gain 2 tokens. And then I'll be able to flip up, hit for 2, and Beat Cop could take it out. So I'm going to have to take 2 indirect damage, because remember, these tokens don't block when I am down. All right, I'm not doing a great job showing this off, but hey, that's been the thing lately. All right, there's a Deaf Focus. Now I can Root Stomp him, so that's even better. One way or another can go grab that crazy card. Meditate could put out Coulson. Coulson could ping this guy out. So actually, so far so good. All right, we're adding 1 here. Groot's Nemesis set is so dumb because of all the indirect damage. All right, he is confused. They are still going to scheme for 3, and I'm going to take 2 indirect and go to 8. And then we are going to get another Shifting Apparition. Okay, so we had a plan. We're going to draw. We're going to gain tokens. Look at this. We can actually deal 9 damage. But we're just as good to play Root Stomp and get another token. Although, funny enough, if these were gone, right? All right, so we will... Oh, yeah. We will meditate and put out Coulson. Coulson comes out. We'll get Spycraft for now. Is it deck or discard pile? Yep. So we'll take Spycraft. I'm not sure if we'll get that down. We will then flip up. Coulson is going to take out one of these Shifting Apparitions so that it's an exact value, right? If it's greater, excess damage. Yep. All right. Then I'm going to play one way or another. And I'm going to go grab that crazy, crazy one. Oh, I got to get rid of threat first, huh? Hold on. And I cannot. Is this a bad plan? So is there a different one I could get? This one. Each card in your hand. Nope, those are my options. All right, so we're getting Fool's Paradise. I'm putting 6 on it. Draw 3. 1. Look at this turn. 2, 3. Probably terrible. So many terrible ideas I just participated in. All right. I think I won't actually put the symbiote suit out here. I know I'm shocking everyone. So I'll use I Am Groot and another I Am Groot. Sorry, I Am Groot to play Deaf Focus. Deaf Focus and another I Am Groot to Groot Stomp and defeat Fernax. Cool. And we get another token, so we go to 10. Oh, what I have left, I could put the suit out, but I think I need to beat Cop, pull 1 here, and keep moving on with my day. All right, so we're getting ourselves into trouble. If this pops, it pops. We'll be okay. Life has gotten worse. So we're digging ourselves a deeper hole in all these cards. But we're going to make it work. All right, so we get 5 plus 2. So we're going to get plus 2 hand size. There we go. Now we got Nick, Rocket, Ironheart, and I am Groot. So if I actually block with Coulson, we'd have tokens to pull from there, but we might be okay. Add 1, 2, so this is going to go to 5. What do you guys think? Am I getting myself in too much trouble? Probably. All right, so he's going to attack for 2, 3 if an ally is defeated. Perfect. So that didn't happen. And then 4, so we still have 6 on there. And then we have to deal with 2 additional cards. I didn't put the suit out, so we don't have to deal with that. All right, here we go. First card is Exhaustion. Do I have a meditation? I don't, so we'll be okay. Next card is... Nope, not from there. Oh yeah, it's Surge. Shadow of the Past. All right, how does this work? Reveal your set aside, put into play, engage with you. Okay, so he just comes back. Fernax. And all the other cards. Are these them here? Yep. All right, here's his side scheme and 3 Fan the Flames. Oh my goodness. I don't think I'm proving anything good here. But hey, life goes on. All right. Then we're getting Induced Panic. I cannot resolve triggered abilities in my hero's printed text box. Okay. So that is interesting, which means I can't use the tokens to block, but I could keep the tokens, so that's a weird thing. Analysis Paralysis. Place external X equal the amount of threat on that side scheme. So this is going to have 4 on it. Yeah, I don't think I can get rid of all this threat. And Manipulated Mind. Treat attached ally as a minion. Ugh. Okay. What did we get ourselves into? Let's draw a card. All right, fines. I am Groot. Can clear one of these, right? Got a lot of toughs. We got Rocket. Take out some of these. So I feel like I am Groot. That seems pretty necessary. I don't think being tough is a big deal. So that +2 thwart would be really helpful. All right, so where are we going to start? So if we use these 4 for Nick, we have this. All right, we're going to draw a card. All right, we're going to get rid of that. We'll get rid of the Beat Cop instead, actually. So we're going to spend these. We're not going to use the tough. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to play Nick Fury. Draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we got Flora and Fauna. We got a Root Stomp, a Think Fast. So then what we need to do is take out one of these. So we'll use Deaf Focus and I think Flora and Fauna and the Root Stomp to play I am Groot. Yep. And we're going to get rid of 6 threat. So we'll remove Fool's Paradise, which will go over here. Trigger Skilled Investigator to draw us another card. Oh, I did need that, didn't I? Urgh. Okay, then... So close to getting Rocket out. Is Rocket better than Ironheart? Or I can Ironheart into one of these. Confuse him and flip down. Ooh, there's a lot of things to get rid of. All right, he does +4 damage. I think that's going to be favored. I'm not going to worry so much about that. So we'll play these 3 for Rocket. Rocket will come out. And then we need to figure out what we can get rid of here. So this guy's fine. This guy's an issue. So these two could take him out, and we would deal with these. Deal 2 indirect damage to each player. Ugh. That we're okay with. Yeah, all right. So these two take out Fernax. We deal with that for now. The beat comps are going to pull 2 off the main, 2 from here. 1, 2. So this one's going to go to 5. This one's going to go to 2. All right. I guess that's our play. We dug a little bit out of trouble. And I think we stay up because we have Nick to block. We just lose these tokens. And where is that darn fertile ground? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still didn't get to it. Man, tell you sometimes, best laid plans. I'm not going to lose. Come on. Whew, that was close. All right, I got rid of a lot of threat there. If we draw an advance or something, this will pop, but we'll be okay. That's why there's 2 schemes, right? So we just need to deal with this. This is the big one, I think. All right, we're adding 1. There's no acceleration. He's attacking for +1 into Nick. 2 plus reveal this card. So Nick will be dead. Actually, I have to do this, right? Choose to either take a damage or place a threat on the main scheme. Oh, I will take a damage. Oh, I don't do that, do I? I take a damage here. Because I don't have this ability anymore. And then shuffle this into any player's deck. Would anybody like to shuffle this into their deck instead of me? Alright, then he hits for 2. Nick is out. And then these ones are attacking for 1, 2, 3. So I will go down to 4. That was not an illusion, so we're okay there. And then we're getting our cards. Oh, it would have been +1. Another shifting apparition. And wilt. All right, so I can remove 3 growth counters. Or I can exhaust and flip. You know what? I will lose 3 growth counters. And discard, I think, because I have all these meditations. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So we survive that. We'll draw a card. There's our van. So we can exhaust for the van. We can have Rocket take something out there. This beat comp will remove this one. So that will be helpful. Bring this down. We cannot leave all these here. So we have Rocket to kill one of them, or Rocket to take threat off of there. Ironheart can come in, so we're not going to be able to use 2 meditations. Oh, hold on. Do we just remove one so we draw a card? Ugh. Okay. So... Scoop? Why am I scooping? I didn't scoop? No, I mean, I get there's definitely a point where you can scoop, but we're not there yet. We got to see if our Justice deck can handle all the threat, right? No, I know it's a joke. Okay, whoo, sorry, I'm like thinky though, huh? So I don't think I need this Root Stomp, although I can play it. Probably build instead. All right, you know, I'll use the Fruition because I don't need those counters. Well, I can't get rid of that. We'll spend these 2 to put Ironheart down, draw a card. Oh my gosh, thank the Lord. So then Root Stomp will play Fertile Ground, so we get that out. I think we deal with this one. We don't have anything to confuse, huh? Exhaust. What do I have to do here? Discard a identity-specific card from my hand. Okay, so I could do that before I draw to just get rid of that thing. So we'll flip down And we'll draw with fertile ground. And we can gain, because it says heroes printed. We'll draw this double. Okay. Shuffle through, get another card. Look at this. We're getting there. Naysayer's gonna nay. All right, the double will play under surveillance. See, everything comes in time. Then I will discard a random identity card to get rid of this. Does it go back in my deck? Nope. Ironheart pops out this guy. Rocket. What am I doing with Rocket? All right. That can now go to 12, so we could be okay. So Rocket will take out Coulson. And I'll actually deal 2 damage. And then Beat Cop will pull 1 from here. And I will heal to go back to 8. Look at this. That ain't working. That's how I do it. Money for nothing. Look at all this build now. All right. I think even we got the cards out of our deck. The world is looking good. He does need Rocket. It is true. Rocket is super good. One of the best allies in the game, for sure. That versatility is amazing. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a Rocket fan. I'm a Rocket fan. Ho, it's suit time. Now we get the suit with the meditation. Look at that, I got double meditation. So you might be able to cut those down, but you saw I didn't get them early. But we'll get all this stuff built. Hey, I got a good feeling. Let's see if we can destroy that good feeling. 1, 2, +1. Oh, and there's the advance. 3, +1 here. It's going to go to 10. Whew, don't stop me now. All right, evil doppelganger. So I'm going to take that out. Sorry, I should really have this a little neater for everyone. Let me see what you see. Move this up here, and then I can put my enemies here. Cool. All right, Deepest Fears. Discard cards on the top of my deck equal to the number of cards in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If at least one identity-specific card was discarded, place a threat on the main scheme. Whew. Okay. And Deja Vu. I will choose to take a damage and go to 7. Because otherwise, that main scheme would pop. Look at this. Nothing to worry about. It's just a sparkling day here. All right, draw 2, gain 3. So 3 is going to be 2 from Groot, 1 from this. Draw 2 cards. Look at this. Look at this. What a day. What a difference a day makes. We will meditate and play an I Am Groot to drop Nick Fury, draw 3, more meditations, fruitions. We don't need any of this stuff. So we will flip up. Ironheart will ping out our friend here. Then Deaf Focus and a Meditate will play, actually, and a Fruition. No, Meditate's fine. We'll play I Am Groot and deal 9 damage to the Doppelganger, taking that out. Let's see. Then we will play... Can we get this suit down? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll pull this out. Rocket goes away. Nick takes the damage. When we do that, we draw a card with Skilled Investigator. And then we will play Think Fast, take a damage, and Confuse. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's suit time. 1, 2, 3, 4. All that trouble we worked out, let's work it back in. Alright, we'll play the symbiote suit. And we get plus 10 health. Double beat cops to pull 2. 1 here. 1 here. We've got them confused, so then we should be able to thwart. Alright, look at that. Clean board. I wasn't this confident, but it looks great now. It looks like I look like a genius. I look like a rocket raccoon over here. All right. This is so fun, digging in and out of trouble. We're adding 1 to the main scheme. He's attacking for 2. Into him. Plus 1. I don't think I've missed any of those illusions. I apologize if I did. But man, this is going well. All right. Attach this to him. The next time, deal any damage, discard the top 4 cards of our deck instead. Whew. Okay. So I don't have a lot to remove threat. That's my main concern here, but I do have him confused. So beat cops, this one will go here. This one's going to go to 8. We'll bring that down to 8. Oh, we need an extra card. Evil Doppelganger. Because of the suit. Oh, and I draw an extra card. Look at that. So now, I actually don't think I need to flip, even though I have that confused there. We will draw a card. Uh-oh, no announcement, huh? But FFG, everyone's here just for me to be live when the announcement goes up. Look, we got 12 people here. Hello, everybody. It's chatty chat today. This is fun. All right. We got this whole mess of cards to deal with, huh? So we got to take this out. So what's Groot attacks for 3, and I could put down Miles for 4 as an option. So we'll drop this shield with the Def Focus. We'll drop, oh man, Miles with these 3. Just give me a second, because I could give up the Beat Cop, but I don't think it makes sense. So I think just myself and Spider-Man will take this out for 7, which is too much. But that's okay. We've got the Vine Shield here, and then these 3 will play the Sonic Rifle. Am I going to kick myself? Probably. So I'll play Counterintelligence instead. I really don't have a reason to flip, but I don't really need tokens, so I will stay up. Something I rarely do. Get that card draw would be nice, but we'll go from here. All right. Look at now, we're cooking. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we get a 6th card, which means we get one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got so much confused. All right, add 1 to the main scheme. The day is still early. Love it. He's going to attack me for 2. Am I going to use Spider-Man? Nope, I'll just lose my tokens. 2. Still no illusions there. So I lose 2. And then we're going here. A Shifting Apparition and a Deja Vu. I'll add a threat to the... I'll just lose a token. Doesn't matter. I will take a damage and shuffle this in. Sorry, I'm trying not to look. All right, let's draw a card with our Avengers Mansion. Lashing Vines. Oh, we need an extra card. He gets another one of these. So he's going to discard 8 cards from my deck. Oh, that actually might be a good time to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. All right, we got Professor. We've got a Root Stomp. Oh, there we go. So we'll do this with Def Focus. I am Groot. Do I have a fruition? Nope. And we'll remove 5 threat from the main scheme. Then we will, is this defense? We'll play one way or another. Can we do that? Analysis Paralysis came out. Blazing Inferno. The other one I removed from the game. Is there one in his kit? I don't know the answer. So we'll just not. There was one other in there, which I think would have been that. So I don't think there's any in his kit. All right, we got 2 beat cops. We don't have a way to deal 1 damage. So I think we just knock this guy out and take an extra card. Does it get shuffled in? Yep. So we do have a couple cards in here, but what we're going to do is we are then going to attack him for 3. He's going to take no damage, discard 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then again discard 4, but there's only 1. So we get an extra card, but we go through and get rid of those. It's Larry on my phone. All right. Well, now I need to deal damage because now it's just getting silly, right? Now everybody's all impressed, Brent. Good job. Now just kill him. I'm just kidding. All right, we will flip down. Oh, what do we still have in hand? Oh gosh. Okay. Whew. So I didn't realize I still had all this stuff. You know what? I'm just going to use these 3. I'm going to root stomp him, and I'm going to put down the lashing vines. So I'll hit him for 5. He's down to 10. Flip down. I didn't even use the other cards there. I didn't defeat him, so I don't get a card. This one allows me to ready. And then Fertile Ground will give us an additional token. We'll draw a card. And it's a meditation, which honestly we just don't need at this point, so we'll discard it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we get a 7th card. All right, there's our I am Groot, so we can smash him for 10, flip him, and then see if we can have a nice day. Oh, what's happening here? More regret not backing Marvel Zombicide. Yeah, I think it was... Heroes Resistance was impressively fun. I have to agree. The having to play 4 solo for me is a lot. But being able to play it with other people and whatnot is good too. But I do agree. You can check that out on the channel. I played that here as well, but that's like that Marvel Zombicide. But so admittedly for me, I didn't have to back it because Larry, who just called, he has everything and I'll get to play it. So I have that benefit. I have several game groups and places to get games from. So I didn't have to worry about that as much. All right, this goes to 3. So really the big thing is he's not going through his deck. Confused, and he didn't give me any illusions, and I feel like that's kind of what kept me going. But man, did I draw all the right cards at the right time. And we're getting +2 cards I don't want to forget because I have the suit. All right, discard my hand and draw up to my hand size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is a significantly worse hand. Wow, I had so many allies, and now all I have is resources. Let's hope this gives us good card draw. And it surges. Whew, that was bad. Deja Vu. We'll add a threat to the main scheme and shuffle it in. Weakness from within. Place 1 additional threat for each card in my hand. 3, 6, 7. Wow, I can't believe that. That was really rough. Deja Vu. We'll go to 5 threat here. What am I doing? Why am I adding threat to the main scheme? I have 17 health. Okay. I'm taking 2 damage instead. And last card is the same thing. All right, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to get discarded. We're going to have to do this one and surge. Discard cards from my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, good cards. Then we have to discard 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is crazy. I did get 1, so I add a threat to the main scheme. It was really fun. And then Master Plan. So this thing's going to 12. You know what that means. It means it just sits there. Okay. All right, let's draw 2. Look at how fun that was. We max at 10. 1, 2 is going to give us Nick Fury and a double resource. We're going to get another card. It's crazy. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you can play that control, right? It's that blue color and magic build. You can really get somewhere. Okay, so I think I will have to actually get rid of this. So I'll end up using Nick. So let me meditate. Is this only after he does something? After Groot uses a basic power. Do I want to meditate, or do I have so many resources I don't care about? I think that's going to be my better plan. All right, so we will use these 4 for Nick. Draw 3 one way or another. Another I Am Groot. All right, we'll flip up. We might be able to almost punch him out. I don't know if this is turn 10, but we're getting darn close. We'll take 2 off of here. We'll Def Focus. And one way or another and meditate. I Am Groot. And get rid of 10. Clear this one. Draw a card. And then, boy, if we could play all this stuff, he's dead. But we cannot. We can hit him for a bunch, though. So let's see what we can do. All right, so we will do these 2. I Am Groot! And we'll hit him for 10, which will flip him. He goes to 16 health. We may be darn close to killing him. Discard the top 5 cards of each player's deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 16 health. So these 2 root stomps will deal 5. He's down to 11. Spider-Man punches him for 2. He's down to 9. Then, oh, I don't have that other one. Then I attack him for 3. Discard 2. Ready. Attack him for 3 more. That's 6. He goes down to 3. That's great. And then Nick Fury attacks him for 2. He's down to 1. So we won't do that with Nick Fury. We'll remove 2 threat. Could have gotten him down to 1 in a turn. So there you go. That's my point with Groot. This has been a point well made. That is exactly what he can do. Dig yourself in and out of trouble. And then since he can ready, that's what makes, the suit that much better, plus all the cards so you can see what you're looking for. But let's not speak too soon in case we run into trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we know who we're finishing the game with, right? All right, we add 1 threat to the main scheme. He attacks for 2, plus 1, no illusion. Nick is out. Draw 2 cards. Fan the flames, take 2 indirect damage. Done. Fan the flames, take 2 indirect damage. Done. Under fire, because why not? Woo! Looked like we were almost out of trouble, huh? Played that Beat Cop first turn. There you go, and it's got 10, so this is my 11th turn. What did I say? Right around turn 10, he turns the corner. Thanks, that's a good read on that. I drew the 2, so I'm good. All right. Delusion of Collusion. So, attached to your name, you cannot ready allies or persona supports you control. I think that's fine. No, they are personas, so that would be a little bit of an issue. Gang Up. He's going to attack me for 2, plus 1 is 3. All right. We'll draw a card. We will play Coulson and Rocket, and shoot, I can't actually kill him, huh? Oh yeah, instead of Coulson, we'll play I Am Groot, deal 1 damage to him. No, I still can't. Darn it. Rocket hits him for 1. I Am Groot! Dead. Whew! What a game! That was so exciting! Exactly what I was hoping for. Dig myself in and out of trouble. Josh from Get Up and Game said scoop, and I didn't scoop. I'm just kidding. I know you were joking. And got him down. So no article, huh? Boo. Oh well. That's okay. Wow. Was that so much fun or what? Cool. Well, there you go, everybody. That is Groot at his finest. You can see those meditations and beat cops. It's a really strong build in Justice. You can do that with Thor. You could do that with She-Hulk. You can do that with, who are some of the other one thwart heroes? Spider-Man, Peter Parker. I feel like I'm missing a bunch. You could do it with Hulk. Honestly, you could do it with anybody, but typically heroes that have two thwart have ways in Justice that you could deal with things, but the beat cops can be really strong. There you go, reverse psychology. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate Eric saying nice, well done, and I'm kind of gloating, obviously, but there's a lot of things. So first off, I never got any illusions. So the fact that he never gave me any illusions, and I'm sure there's people who would argue that Mysterio is not, the hardest of the bunch, but that was certainly quite the turn to dig out of. What did I have? 3 side schemes out? I had Fernax. I can't remember if that's when I had Fernax with 7 health. I had those apparitions. I don't think they were actually that big a deal. And I had the thing that said I can't use my ability, so I'm losing my tokens. But again, you can see by being able to control him and flip back and forth, those beat cops just adding everything. I also never used a beat cop, so like had Fernax come out at that point, I would have just used a beat cop to clear Fernax. But you can see eventually I was just drawing through so many cards. That one hand would have been rough, right? I had that hand that was all resources. That was going to be ugly. That's where I had pulled Lockjaw and then put him back. I think he's in the deck on Marvel CDB, and I was like, I think I got enough control without Lockjaw, and he would have been huge there. So there's definitely things you could cut down. You could go to 2 meditations. You could pull Spycraft and or Counterintelligence, I think is fine. You could, if you're more into events, you could get rid of the Sonic Rifle and do 3 Think Fasts. I think would work. One way or another, you got to pay attention. That's a classic. Like, it's a great solo card, but you got to pay attention to what you're pulling. I knew I wanted to pull that one that gave me candy. It almost was the death of me. But the fact that and the suit weren't... I also avoided the suit the turn I drew it. So do note that when I was in trouble, I did not add the suit, but I did add it later. I know some people call the symbiote suit the win more card. But I really, that beat cop, right, did so much work. Professor X is ridiculous. He's just ridiculous. I still think Nick Fury's better, but man, still good. What else from here? But yeah, if you wanted to trim this thing down, but there's just so much build, it's not a big deal. Again, you could pull the suit, and that would get you closer, and you could find a way to get yourself down to 25 cards with this, 40 cards, because I think it's sitting at 45 right now. But you'd have to see what it is. So that's where I don't know if I build every time. Like I say, I build for each villain, but I think I'm just adjusting 5 or so cards in each deck, right? Oh, one way or another is going to be ridiculous against Taskmaster. In fact, I would think some people don't do that. The suit is great for getting built. I still think the +1 card draw is where it's at. I know this in counter card. I just don't think counter cards are all that punishing unless you're playing certain villains where it's just brutal. If you've got a lot of Surge, again, he actually has a lot of Surge, and draw to the card, get this other effect, but they're so minor that I don't think it's a big deal here. But there are definitely times the suit can come back to haunt you for sure. And I think it's a card that's fine to play without. I think it can just speed up that build. But you saw what I was saying with Groot, right? So now I had I Am Groot, Root Stomp, and an I Am Groot, I Am Groot, and a Root Stomp, I always say Groot Stomp, in the same turn, right? So suddenly I'm playing all those, I remove 10 threat, deal 10 damage, and then I did another 5 damage with the other card, so those 3 events, 10 threat removal, 15 damage, all that on the table, and then I was able to attack for 3 ready and attack for 3 more, just using the tokens, because at that point, they're not a big deal. Yeah, Nebula, she'd be a tricky one. As well. Ronan, obviously, Venom Goblin, Loki, any of these. But if you're not solo, then the suit just gets even better. So that's a big part, is I tend to play more two-handed. But I wanted this to be a little bit shorter, hoping that article would pop up. But it looks like it will not today. So there's that. So let's chat a little, because I got a little bit of time here. What's new? What's exciting? I guess that's what the article's supposed to be for. I'm probably just hitting on nerves. I have to see what's there. But it's a new year, so that's cool. If you didn't check out, I played Batman yesterday. The Dark Knight Returns. It's a game from Cryptozoic and Daryl Andrews and Morgan Dontanville. And it's really cool solo game. It has a verse mode in it, and as I was looking more, I think the verse mode might be better than I thought. I was a little afraid the verse mode. I was really interested for solo, and you keep everything. So that was kind of cool, going to other superheroes and whatnot. If you're into competitive card games, I would definitely tell you to check out My Hero Academia. That's one of my favorite. There's things on the channel. But the new set is coming out in March. The League of Villains. So if you've watched the show, I've really watched the show because of playing the game. So I have some of the ideas, but it's going to be a lot of the villains from there, and some new things they're going to add, which should be pretty neat. And if you happen to be in our area, we're playing on Tuesday nights, so we'll be there. Friday nights, I'm at the store helping out with Magic, although I think I'm just doing that through the end of the month because I was kind of filling in since September, and all of a sudden it's been 5 months, and my wife's like, could you be home on Friday nights? So I think I'll back off at the end of January on that and have somebody else do that, but I'll still be around there and whatnot. What's good? What's exciting? What are people looking forward to? Champions or other games? How about other games? What are other games that people have been playing lately that I should check out? Or is there something you want to see on the channel? I often say that to people, but then don't sit around waiting for replies to that. So is there something else that I could play that you've been interested in? I'll try to seek out a copy. People told me that Assassin's Creed game, there's like a new Assassin's Creed game that's supposedly really good. So I got to do that. I have a bunch of things I promised publishers that I would play on the channel as well. So I wanted to do that. Made a Rogue Avengers Assemble deck. Oh, I got you. You printed out Rogue and then went Avengers Assemble. Cool. Nice. Yeah, because Rogue comes out, in February? That's not that far now. Right? It felt like it was like, oh man, we got to get to 2023, but now, what is the release date? Is it early or is it late? G.I. Joe, you've been playing G.I. Joe, or you want to check out G.I. Joe? Does anybody know the release date on Rogue and Gambit? And then Josh, let me know what... I did the G.I. Joe deck builder, and I played it completely wrong. Impressively wrong. I should keep my phone here. I want to find the release date on that, though. Marvel Champions. This is like the most interesting thing you could watch. Somebody typing in their phone who's kind of blind. Rogue Gambit. Alright, when does this place have it available? That's just pre-order. Asmodee. They got to give us a time. 2/24. Okay, so it is a little while because you're talking a solid 6 weeks, right? So the end of February is that. Oh, and you've all got it there for me now. Marvel United, is that Kickstarter next week? So the multiverse Kickstarter. Should I play Marvel United? Is that something people want to see? I have the X-Men one. You know, we have it. So here's a weird thing, right? So there was a Kickstarter, right? It's not GameFound, it's Kickstarter. There was a Kickstarter for Marvel United. That must have been 2020, and then it fulfilled. I can't remember. And then they did X-Men, and that one has fulfilled. Yeah. So all that stuff has come out. We just got that in retail. All that stuff. We got it something maybe 9th, 10th of December, and we couldn't sell it until the Friday of that week. So it wasn't available for us to sell in retail until, let's say, December 15th or something like that. Maybe it was the 16th, I think. So that's how long we had to wait till we could get it and sell it. Obviously, the one retail was available at like Walmart and places like that, but you'll see kind of that difference. It's interesting. But yeah, I think that one, the 18th for United. I saw Quackalope had played that on their channel, so they were playing live yesterday. Today I saw Board Game Co. posted one. They all have Travis Chance, because I think he's maybe going around with the game. And then I think Dice Tower plays it tomorrow. So you've got those 3 channels that you can check it out. Oh, by the way, Dice Tower is doing their fundraising right now on Kickstarter, and Dice Tower is definitely a lot of my friends. I help run the Dice Tower Ward. I tend to work at their booths. Roy Cannaday is a big Marvel Champions player, so I've tended to play with him at most conventions. But anyway, they're friends of mine, and yeah, if you have some money and you view their content and you would find it of value to back them, I would appreciate you supporting them. I don't get anything out of it. I don't actually work for them, and whatnot. Also, I've had the Portal Gaming podcast, and it has actually come to an end. I didn't get to post a final episode because I actually didn't pay for the site anymore, so I didn't get to that. But I have a new podcast that is coming out. I think March is going to be the launch, and I will announce more things, but I'll have a podcast where I will be reviewing games once again with someone else. So there'll be more than one of us, and I'm looking forward to that greatly, so I will start to do that. And I don't know if I'll post the episodes here because we might keep it separate from this, but we'll find a place to make sure you know about that, and you'll be able to hear about all sorts of games, not really strictly Marvel Champions. So more on that is coming. Gambit comes out right after I get back from parental leave. Oh, there you go. Nice. I think it's Gambit and Rogue. Josh, I am not playing G.I. Joe. I think there's a couple G.I. Joes, right? There's a G.I. Joe deck builder and an expansion. Probably not what you're talking about. There's a G.I. Joe, is it like Mission Control or something like that? And it's in the same system as Power Rangers, I believe. And I would actually like to give that a play. That would be fun. I'll try to contact Renegade and see if that's something I could get. Because I think that would be a neat one to show off. So I'll look into that. I think because that came from Kickstarter, it's trickier for me. I don't tend to back things on crowdfunding. I'm not against backing things on crowdfunding. The funds for me are just tricky for me to say, oh, I'm going to put out $150 and then have that show up whenever. I tend to wait and see if there's things that publishers can send to me, and or see if there's things that come into our store where I could get it, or maybe play a friend's copy and kind of cover more things that way, because it's tricky for me to kind of purchase everything. I know some people are good about purchasing the things and then playing them on their channels and then passing them on, selling them. But that just adds another layer for me. So I bought them from Europe already. Oh, nice. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I could have bought them and had them shipped over, but I'm just going to wait at this point. Comes in. Maybe Fantasy Flight will send them to me. Who knows? It feels like it's a crapshoot sometimes, and whatnot. But I'm always appreciative when they do the things that they give me, so that's great. My current thoughts on Marvel Snap. I absolutely adore that game. I love playing 1 to 2 games at a time. I am not like a let me sit here forever. In fact, you can kind of tell, right? My streams, I tend to be a little snappy, pun intended. I'm not super into 3-hour streams. I like to keep things right around an hour or 2 if it can. My current, what do they call it? My level? I don't know. I am 1669 in Marvel Snap, so I'm definitely playing significantly. I really enjoy the game. I don't play to climb that ladder, so I'm probably like 25 or 30, which I think really just means I beat bots. But I basically play, 1 or 2 games in the morning, 1 or 2 games midday, 1 or 2 games in the afternoon, 1 or 2 games before bed. So I'm playing about 8 games a day, usually. There's probably times where I play 3 or 4, but honestly, I don't. Video games have never been that way for me. I've never been like oh shoot, I sat down here to play 1 game and it's an hour later and I've played 10 games. It just doesn't happen to me. So I love that it's 3 minutes. Do it that way. I actually remember when I was a kid, I was playing something Super Nintendo and friends biked over and they came up and I could see them coming in the window and I got to a save point, saved the game. I don't know, something. And that was like the last boss. I'm like, don't you want to fight the last boss? I was like, no, let's go play outside. I'll go do it later. So I've always kind of been like that with video games and things. Not as worried. So yeah, but if you haven't checked out Marvel Snap, it's really fun. It's just an easy way to play. People are saying they want it to come to tabletop, but I'm kind of afraid like Slay the Spire. Here's my thing, if I can articulate this well. I love when board games, or I totally get board games becoming video games or apps or whatever. as long as there's a good UI, maybe you can play with people. It's a good way to learn the game. I think that makes sense, even though I don't do that a ton. The only game I play on my phone that's a board game is Through the Ages because it's amazing. Yeah, it makes sense. I can see that. Get Up Gabe says, I've deleted that so fast so I didn't get stuck there. And yeah, I see that. So anyway, let me go back to that and then I'll come through. So that makes sense. But when a video game becomes a board game, not because I think video games are better than board games, but video games have massive advantage over board games, right? You don't have to teach anybody to play a video game. It's like a tutorial. It's all run. They figure out the best system. Like, board games need to be taught. They have a level of entry. And then when you start like shuffling cards and things, so I actually think that a video game that gets directly adapted to a board game, those don't tend to work very well. I think you have to do something different. Recently, I think it was Matt Bartlett there from Literary Gamer said to me, he felt like his best example was XCOM. And if you ever played the XCOM board game, Eric Lang and Fantasy Flight, like, it's got the XCOM feel, but they put this real-time element to it using an iPad, and you're not really playing the XCOM video game, but it's giving that. And I think that's the best way to do it. I played Skyrim, the board game, recently. I think it's a great solo experience, but we were playing 3 solo games. Now, I posted in the solo games people, and people said, no, you can interact, you can help each other in the dungeons. And I'm sure if you get a group of people kind of playing that in a campaign style, that you're going to find ways to interact and really do a lot. But we got to the point where we were just taking our turns simultaneously, and we were on the same map. And it really did a good job recreating Skyrim, the video game, but that's a very popular, very well done video game. So that's a pretty good place you could go if you're playing solo, in my mind. So a board game, I want to do something different. For Gloomhaven, I like shuffling all those decks, thinking about what the odds of things are instead of having an app. I feel like I lose a little bit of that. Again, I'm not against apps in games, but there's that piece. So that's just kind of my thoughts. I don't know particularly, like, why do I play board games instead of video games? I think I play it to be with people, which is ironic when then I'm playing something by myself. But honestly, if I play Champions, I don't sit here and play Champions in my house. This stuff goes downstairs with me, and we have like a big kitchen counter. And so either my family's around, or I'm in the middle of the house, or I set up a card table and we're watching something and I'm there playing Champions. So yes, I'm not really engaging with the people around me, but I'm in that space with them. So it's still social for me. I can even kind of laugh and go like, oh, that was crazy. I got the symbiote suit and I drew this card, and my wife will go, oh, okay, cool. Like, I can, talk with her a little bit and whatnot. So I think that's so yeah, that's always tricky for me when a video game becomes a board game. I feel like they have to change it. You have to make it accessible in some way, do something different. Whereas a board game, you're trying to get it to be mobile, right? That's the goal. The goal is that I don't need these physical pieces. I could play it on a plane. I could play it with people who are elsewhere in the world. Those kind of ideas. So it makes sense, but the other way is tricky. Yeah, as far as like getting stuck on things, I don't tend to do that. I don't have a collector's mentality, so I've been really lucky. So for Marvel United, I own the United base box, and I own the X-Men United base box, and that's all I have for it. However, now that we have it in the store, I'm going to have to buy that Guardians of the Galaxy one, because that is super fun. So if people want to see Marvel United on the channel, I will grab the Guardians of the Galaxy one and play it. I think if you go back 2 years, I think Larry got all that stuff. I know we played Sinister Six. I don't know if we played Guardians. But I'll probably pick up that Guardians of the Galaxy one and try to give that a play and whatnot. I'm always looking for games that I can stream on the channel with other people. So I've been doing a lot of solo because there's things that I say that I will cover for publishers, and I absolutely will do that. But I'm always looking to try to find something that I can play. Right now, my wife would do it, but we are so darn stuck we are so stuck in Frosthaven. Not stuck. We are so glued to Frosthaven that whenever we have free time to play, that's what we're playing. And that's a lot to lug up here and try to fit on this table. This table is not very big. It's just this wide. I can just reach across here. So this is not going to fit a large game. As demonstrated yesterday, if you see the Batman game, the board just fit on my table and the spaces on the side weren't quite there. So And that's all I have because this is my attic. So it just goes a couple feet that way, a couple feet that way, and luckily there's a window in front of me, so I don't feel like I'm stuck. Anyway, I have a really nice attic. It's a finished attic up here, and it's super warm. It was snowing this morning for about 45 minutes, and then the snow changed over to rain, and we have not had anything winter anything in Connecticut. Okay, let's see. Don't like playing with random people online. Yeah, I mean, Steve and Brian are okay. Just kidding. I get to know people, and it's worked a little better. I've been surprised with card games how well it's worked to play online. Marvel Snap will soon be adding a battle mode, so you can play with your friends. Oh, that's what keeps you from doing it. I get it, the Marvel Snap thing. What do I think of Frostpunk? Yeah, Frostpunk was cool, too. That was really neat. Our first game was very much a learning game. I am thankful to Mike and Larry that sat with me and played that game because it took us pretty close to 4 hours. And there was just a lot. I read the rules. I played through like an initial round or two, and it was still just a lot to understand. It's one of those rule books where you have to find the things, and it's generally everything was there, but it was tricky. It's very much a survival game. It's very much like a story event game. You're going to draw an event and then pick an outcome. What do you think you want to have happen? Shuffle something in, which is a cool mechanism, and then it happens later, but you just don't know what you're reacting to. Sometimes it's a little more obvious, like people are starving. You promise them you'll find them food, so you need to go stockpile food, right? That kind of thing. It was neat. You're supposed to take one action at a time, but similar to Skyrim, we started to discover like there were things we wanted to do in order, and you basically start telling people you should do this, then I'll do this, then I'll do this. And so it was more easy to like pool our workers instead of thinking, oh, you have 4, I have 4, you have 4. We have 12 actions. What do we want to get done? Now, again, Larry's somebody when I play with him, Mike similar, like we discuss everything and then we make our decisions. You see Brian and Steve and I do a lot similar, and then we go do everything. So it works fine for us. But if you had problems with alpha gaming in your group, I think Frostpunk would be one of those games where it would be tricky. Then somebody's got to pick those events. So if you can't agree, that would be that way. The snow stuck. Yeah, that's what my parents set up near Spartan. It sounds so weird because I don't know. Spartan probably lives. Gosh, I don't even think you live that far. It might be 10 miles from me. It's across the river, so I think we're like 25 minutes from each other. But I don't know that we're much. So that's interesting. Just 10 miles north of me, that it was snowing. That my parents are up in Hartford, so they said the snow stuck there. Yeah, I don't think there's an article today, everybody, but I appreciate you joining me, so we'll have to see when we get the next thing announced. But like I said, go check out that Star Wars deck building game, because that is a whole bunch of fun there, and you can battle it out, and you get to fight the cards in the center row and then acquire things into your deck. So that should be a whole bunch of fun. Oh, I knew where you lived. I just wasn't going to say the name of the town. You don't seem worried about it. All right. Anything else for the good of the order before I go have some lunch? And I got to clean out a cat litter box. Ugh. I'm hoping the new one came and I can just toss the other one, because we ordered a new one. But otherwise, got to clean up for those cats. Brandon Sanderson, that's my cat, like the author. So kind of fun. Yeah, so Brian had said to me that he thought he could play tonight. I know Steve can't. Steve has switched over jobs, so he's got a lot going on with his job right now, and then I think his wife and him are going out tonight. So, yeah, no, that's fine, Spartan, if you don't care. Then there you go. Everybody go to Wethersfield, Connecticut. You can see Spartan. So Brian and I will try to play that one tonight. I think it's Cherry Bomb. I think that's the one we're doing tonight. Fighting Red Skull. I don't know the time on that because I'm good early or late, so I have to figure out what's better for Brian when he wants to do that. But we'll finish that one up, and then we'll be on the 5th one, and we're going to bring in the designer of that, Steel Hull. He's going to play number 5 with us, the epic conclusion. Those have been really fun. If you're looking for something to change up Marvel Champions, check out those campaigns, those campaign winners, the contest winners, on the Fantasy Flight Games website. You have to search a little. You have to go to like products, Marvel Champions, and then scroll down. You'll pass the awards section where you'll see the Dice Tower Award nominations. Did they win? I can't remember what champions did, but you'll see that, and then past that, you'll click through there and see what is there. So you could do that. Other than that, check out all these people's channels that are on here. Get Up in Games, doing an awesome job. Got a lot of great videos up there, so definitely go over there and give a subscribe. Spartan posted a video this morning of War Machine verse. I forgot. I apologize. But you can subscribe to CN Spartan's channel as well. Since there's no announcement besides more mutants, what's on your wish list for new Marvel Champions? I have no idea. I don't really know anything about Fantastic Four, except there's been a lot of really bad movies. So I don't know if I've even made it through them all. Which ones I have. But I know people are very excited about that. And I could be totally wrong, but I think, like, Doctor Doom is part of that, right? And Silver Surfer, is that Fantastic Four? So those seem like fun things to add as well. Am I getting any of this? Wrecking Crew, that was right. Ultron. Nice. So check out that play as well. I don't know what I know for Marvel other than that. I mean, I agree. I think Daredevil and all that kind of stuff. Daredevil was the Defenders show I made it through. I might have watched Iron Fist. Is Iron Fist the one that had the actor that played Faramir in it? I think so, right? One of them had the villain, and the villain was like Faramir. So, I actually, the best thing that they have done lately is that 3 scenario pack. I wish they would make more of that. That would be so exciting for me if Fantasy Flight could see that and be like, ooh, let's make more of these packs that have 3 scenarios in them. I just think that Mojo Mania was like the best thing to come out. That was super good. So that was really fun. But I think X-Men and Mutants make the most sense for now, so I see where they're going with that. I don't know. I don't know what else I'd be interested in seeing, you know. Multiverse isn't super interesting to me, and I don't feel like the MCU has done a great job to draw me into the multiverse. Like, I think I can spoil, right? Doctor Strange, when they had Professor X, and they had I'm so sorry, Mr. Fantastic, and all those in there. That was so exciting. Like, let's add them. Let's do it. Here we go. And then they didn't get added. It felt kind of like when I teach my students improv, and it's like lowering the stakes. It's like, ooh, we've raised the stakes, and then no, we're actually not putting any of those things in. And you're like, okay. No Captain Carter. None of that stuff is coming to the MCU. We just put it in this one movie. And I get where they did that, but I feel like that would have been exciting to do some of those things. But yeah, the villains are great. The heroes have been awesome. I think people would have to kind of tell me some of the things we could see, and then I'd be like, oh, that would be cool. I would enjoy seeing that. I mean, the Spider-Verse feels like it could be fleshed out more. I don't know specifically what those things are, but it feels like they could do more of the Miles and Gwen stuff, because they put a lot of the standard Spider-Man villains in that box, but they didn't do the ones that are specifically related to them, I believe, that we've seen. Ant-Man is going to kick it all off for real. Nice. Yeah, no, I get that with multiverse. It means you can do whatever you want. Got it all just set up. Do I want to see something with Loki? I think Loki would be a pretty fun hero. I think I just want them to do... I want them to try... Like, there's a formula now, and I want them to try to step out of the formula. So, like, Loki, where you could have, instead of those 4... villain cards, you could have 4 hero cards, and you could swap out your hero cards and be different Lokis, right? And heroes that don't have a 15 card set, maybe that's a different number of cards, you know, that you could swap in and out or something. I mean, that's kind of like the weather deck, but I'd love to see them do that. And then villains, I know Brian's a huge fan of, like, if they did a villain thing where it's like, oh, from here I can pick path A or B, and then from each of these I can pick path A or B, and then I get to the final villain. And so maybe we had 5 scenarios, but you can kind of pick the order of those different things. I think something like that would be neat. So I would like to see them try to shake that up a little bit. But there's a formula that's working. We're all buying it. We're still playing it. I'm over 4,000 plays, and look at the smile I had playing Groot. Right? Like, so the joy factor is there. If they change nothing, we're all having fun. If they change something, who knows, right? It could be trickier. So that's a good call, Josh. Secret Wars would be really fun. Isn't there supposed to be like a Secret Wars show? And isn't that like the scroll and all that? I think that would be really interesting. That would be a fun thing to do. That's what they did for Con of Heroes. The Con of Heroes campaign had those in effect, and that was really neat. So there's that. And then, I mean, could they do DC Champions? Like, would people be on board with that? I think I'd be on board. I would love to have Batman and Wonder Woman and Superman. I think that would be really cool if they could extend this to something like that. But I don't know where that is, you know? Or Star Wars Champions. I think Star Wars would be the one IP that if they made it, I would jump ship in a second, because I love Marvel and I really like Marvel with the movies and everything, but Star Wars is definitely my jam. So if they could get there, I'd be all for it. So Star Wars Champions, and I could be Luke, and I could be Leia, and I could fight Vader, and I could fight the Emperor, and I could fight Darth Vader or Darth Maul. Like, I'd be all down for that. Secret Wars is coming. Nice. Yeah, I think DC would be really fun. I don't know about getting that license. It's got to be... I don't know where card games are for that. Like Cryptozoic has that because they have the deck builder, and then they have that Batman game I played the other day. Where else do we see... what other DC board games are there? There's a Batman... There's like a... Panini or whatever makes a Batman... What is it? What is the Batman where he's... like a karate fighter, for lack of a better term? I don't know what the general term is there. Oh yeah, no, there's definitely custom content, and I appreciate the custom content. I think honestly, if I played on TTS, I would do a lot more of that. For printing out and storing all that stuff, it's tricky for me, and I don't know what's what and what's where, which is why I've kind of enjoyed playing these ones from the contest, because it's at least something that somebody played and kind of went. And I'm sure there's many amazing custom content creators. I don't want to take anything away from them. That have done a fabulous job, but for me, there's a lot of stuff to cover, so what's readily available works out a little bit, but that would be neat. Yeah, Imperial Assault's great. I actually haven't tried Imperial Assault ever since they made it full co-op, and I could probably play solo or something. Be really neat. My biggest letdown, actually, my Imperial Assault is sitting right there, was just that it wasn't something my wife and daughter got into, and I thought, whatever it was, 8 years ago, 7 years ago, I thought, perfect. My daughter was like 6, and she liked Star Wars, and we're bringing her to see Rogue One, and I thought she'd really get into this game, and we'd have a campaign going on, and all this interesting stuff, and characters, and whatnot, and they just weren't into it, and it wasn't something... campaigns I find hard to bring to a store and then play, you know? Like, oh, I'm going to bring this, and I'm going to find a group, and we're going to meet up weekly, and we're going to get through that. It feels like a lot to me, so that's where I've enjoyed one-off stuff, and so that's where Imperial Assault hasn't worked as well. All right, I think that's a lot of chat and chatter, so thank you, because really the reason I'm live is to spend time with all of you and to have somebody to interact with. So, hey, Groot wins or Groot loses, whatever. No skin off my teeth, but you all being here with me is awesome, and that we can share this fun hobby together, and specifically this game. I know for a lot of people, I still want the channel to cover wide, but Marvel Champions will be an anchor just because it's fun to play and we have kind of a consistent audience here. Yeah, we need to play. No. Spartan, we're going to play at the portal sometime. One person is not nearly as bad. It's those big games, those big board games that take a long time. We can cruise through something with this. We still had to set that up, and we were going to try to stream sometime, so we will figure that out. It was tricky. The holidays just took me for a loop. It was a lot. And then yeah. So we'll figure that out. Send me a message on Discord, and we'll go from there. Okay, Yeah, that's it. So just watch the channel, and I'll post the time. It may be last second tonight when Brian and I decide to do it. If it doesn't post, it means that one of us couldn't make it for whatever reason. My wife is out tonight because she suspends herself psychotically from ceilings on silks and spins down. If you've ever seen Cirque du Soleil, where they do the silk air dancing, she does that same thing. In fact, it's on the other side of this wall, kind of a practice one. So she's got that. So I'm with my daughter, so I just have to figure out once she's going to be asleep and everything, so we'll do that. Then I think I'm mostly just going to be at the portal tomorrow, so I probably won't stream anything in the morning. So then Saturday might be when we're back again. But as always, if there's something that you're looking for me to play, the G.I. Joe one is a good one to look up. Let me know, and I'm happy to try to acquire those things. I'm pretty good at acquiring games and trying to get a play of them in. But in the meantime, my name is the Brandt, and until next time, I hope you step into the portal. Thanks, everybody. Always fun being live with all of you and chatting. Have a great rest of your day.